So let's go over like the concept of clockwise versus counterclockwise. Okay, and the reason why I say that is, um, in like Oriental medicine or acupuncture, clockwise is healing, or or what they call like tonification, right? Or like making something more active. And then counterclockwise, right, is basically um, destroying or sedation or making it less active. Okay, and so like when you're applying like when you're hitting the points, right, on the body, whether you're healing, you're trying to inspire, like, so like remember like we spoke about earlier about the mother and the child theory, right, where like in the event that one particular element is weak, then it's either the child is overacting and taking too much energy from the mother, or the mother's mother is too weak and basically not giving out enough energy. So technically, if you think of it that way, and everything is based on balance, right, then basically the child, you sedate, right? So you do counterclockwise on the child, right, which would then minimize the pull of the energy on the mom, allowing her to have a little bit more energy. Okay, but you can also clockwise on the mother's mother, which is the grandmother, and making it more powerful so that it can give more energy to the mother. Okay, so that's how like the balance works, right? Now in martial arts applications, right, counterclockwise you see in the front thrust punch, right, and you notice how we corkscrew in with like a punch like this, right? We come in, we punch like this, right? And basically that punch is like a counterclockwise, right? So we're disrupting the energy when we hit the opponent and we turn it counterclockwise. So we're sedating, okay? Now, what happens is, technically, if we punch it the other way, we clockwise in this way, we're healing the opponent, right? So in the past, like I used to think, okay, I'm not too sure if I still think this or not. I had like a sneaky suspicion, but like there's this concept called the reverse, right? And a lot of people are to say, oh, the reverse punch is basically this punch that we use because of the way that we're punching and our footwork and stuff like that. But like one of the instructors across the street, he told me, people don't know this, but the reverse punch was kind of like an uppercut. And I was like, how is it like an uppercut, right? And basically, if you were to apply the counterclockwise technique, right, in your punch, but you were to do it with your left hand, then wouldn't it be kind of like a uppercut? Because you would be applying it like this, right? You'd be hitting like this, and you'd be coming like this, kind of like bam. So you'd be applying the sedation energy, right? Just like how the right punch is a clockwise motion, you'd be applying the sedation energy in also a counterclockwise motion, right? But with the left hand, right? So it'd be both going in the same direction like this, right? See this? So I had a sneaking suspicion about that, but I don't know. I don't know who invented the reverse punch. I don't know who named it. But that was my sneaky suspicion, and I was thinking about it because as I was studying Oriental medicine in the past, we learned about why, like, the punches are done a certain clockwise way or counterclockwise way, and the reasoning behind it. So if you are trying to become like an Oriental medicine practitioner, or you want to get better at martial arts, you want to know, why do we punch, why does things happen clockwise, why do things happen counterclockwise, then that might be a subtle clue. And it might be something where you want to go out there and you want to like basically go study some more, read a whole bunch of books, and get better at martial arts, so you'll know all of these little things, and then you can make your own decision. You don't want to learn from the limitations of your previous instructor, your previous master, right? Because they don't know everything. They were just told something from somebody else, and if that other guy told them wrong, it's all wrong. okay? And he goes wrong, 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 right? And being taught wrong again, all right? So anyway, go out and train. I gotta go feed my dog now. She's complaining, all right?